Good morning. This is Andrew Benioff for Llenrock.com and Llenrock Blog. I'm here with Tim Proctor of TD Bank here in our Philadelphia region. He is the regional director for the greater Philadelphia area for their commercial real estate lending platform. And Tim and I are here to talk about a little bit about regional banking, what's going on in the market in general, and what we see for the future. Tim, thank you for joining us.
No problem, thank you.
The first question I'd like to ask is, Tim, what asset types have surprised you over the last couple of years, and what do you think they are? What do you think they've been in the last couple of years, and what do you think they are going to be going forward? Anything sort of stand out?
I think one of the interesting things that I've noted is how much office construction that we're involved in right now, and my feeling with the way the recession worked and where unemployment worked, you would think, I thought to myself, there wouldn't be that much office going on. And what I found is that tenants really want their own space, and I've also found what I think is a fascinating change in the use of office, because employers are using a newly configured office space to attract these younger folks who aren't looking for the corner office, but they're looking for large workrooms so that they can socialize and work together in teams on different functions and have that social connection in the office, which is part of what they're used to from college and so forth. So these employers, to attract these younger talented folks, have to reconfigure their offices, which has required new space, and they want their identity on it. So it's been a fascinating evolution in office.
And different amenities in those offices as well?
Exactly right. It seems like the coffee shop is a must-have amenity in the building.
Interesting.
And then some of them want some sort of workout room, although that's not as necessary.
Very interesting. And is most of this office new construction, or is it sort of revitalization of previous space?
I'm seeing it as new construction. The revitalization I see in the apartment area, where they take the older office space and they convert it into apartments. Those deals were involved in as well.
Interesting. Okay. And so we just talked about the asset types that have surprised you, which is, you said, office. How about markets in our region? Are there any? I mean, obviously the greater Philadelphia area is home to a number of different cities and sort of suburban areas. Center City, Philadelphia is very vibrant, but I'm sure there are some other vibrant areas as well. Have any markets surprised you to a greater or lesser extent?
I'll make the observation, I have more activity in Philadelphia than I have in any point in my career, and I've been in it for about 25 years now. So I'm very impressed by how well Philadelphia is doing. I mean, we cannot understate that it is dynamic. There has been a slight increase in the population. There has certainly been an increase in the young people coming to the city. So that's been very strong. In the surrounding areas, I would say the suburbs have really slowed down a great deal. We see some steady action in Wilmington area, and that's been good. The New York City has stayed steady. But really the growth has been in kind of the major urban centers.
Interesting. Okay, good. Let me ask you another question. As everybody knows, Llenrock is in the business of assisting clients with getting projects financed, bringing equity to the table, etc. And we're always interested in, from a banker's perspective, what are some of the common mistakes that you see people making, developers making, when they're seeking financing? Is there anything that sort of sticks out for you?
I think it's important to have a good dialogue and relationship with a banker. It's become very important for us to be able to certify that we know who we're lending to for Patriot Act reasons as well as others. It seems like my regulators want me to have had a long-term relationship with folks and have that verified by checking with other folks in terms of how that borrower has behaved in all sorts of scenarios. So your history and your track record are very, very important here. The other observation I make is there's no shortcut. Things take time to process right now. So I live in a system now where there's probably 2-3 more people I have to speak with before I can get my approval squared up. There's probably 2 or 3 more vendors that I have to work with, whether it be on the environmental side or on the appraisal side, to get those tasks accomplished. And and they all take time. So
Interesting.
I just don't think there's a quick way to make a loan.
No way to rush things through the
No,
system.
no, not
You got to
right
be
now.
patient going in.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. And I guess a last follow-up question for you, Tim, which would be, what kind of, this is a fairly general question, so we'll just sort of ask you to prognosticate for a moment. What kind of real estate climate do you see going into 2013? Will it be different than 2012, or is it just going to stay the same? Anything going to be improving or going the other way? Any observations?
I think 2012 was quite frankly, a very pleasant year for us, and we saw rents improving, particularly in the apartment sector. I think that 2013 will be a continuation. We have certain uncertainty. One of the things that we're trying to figure out is where do interest rates go? And with incredibly low interest rates right now, but how do they change? And I think everyone agrees that they'll move up. Do they move up quickly in a kind of jagged, kind of jerky motion, or do they move up in a kind of controlled fashion? And I think what will be interesting is if they start to jerk, that will force people to start making some decisions sooner than they thought, and it will change. I think the interest rates will move ahead of the rents in terms of rent growth versus interest rate growth. So that will create a little stress on the NOI for a little bit. So overall, I'm very positive about 2013, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you.
Good, so are we. Yeah, I think so. Tim, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. This is Andrew Benioff for the Llenrock Blog. Thanks for joining us.